Hello world, what's up? Peter Garonis here, entrepreneur, licensed realtor, property manager owner, among everything else. And I'm making this video, I'm bringing it to you guys to share with you and educate with you what I believe, in my opinion, are the three most important things when it comes to listing your property, okay? Do not worry, this is not a clickbait. You gotta wait 20 minutes to get all three or the third of the three, etc. I'm gonna tell you these three right out of the gates in just a second. But I wanna explain to you as well that while I'm explaining to you what I believe to be the three most important things when listing your property and how to do it right, I will also share with you guys, and we can do this together. It's kind of a collaborative, off the cuff, unrehearsed sort of thing, where I'm actually going to go into my internet right here in my heart in my computer, and I'm going to go on my back end, my intranet, and we're going to pull up some houses. Okay, I want to look at two different sets of homes in our region. One, I'm going to look at something that's sold, preferably in the last few weeks, and we're going to break down and use that as a case study to compare to my three things that I say are likely the most important, three important things when it comes to selling your home. And we're going to find out why that house sold. Were they aligned with those three things? And then we're going to go into something maybe that's an expired or canceled that didn't actually transact. So it doesn't matter what they listed it for or what that looked like. It did not sell. And we will use that as a case study to try and figure out why it didn't sell. Okay. So without further ado, here are the three most important things, in my opinion, when it comes to listing your home. The very first thing is price. What you are asking for makes a world of a difference on if you're going to sell your home or not. If you're asking for too much, the house will sit and sit and sit and sit and eventually will expire or get canceled, okay? Now, if you ask for too little, you'll know that right away as well, because you will have people come in right away. Activity will be really high. You might find yourselves in a multiple offer situation, not unlike what we've experienced in the last few years up until last year when it came to the seller's market that we were in. But that is essentially what you can expect if you're pricing it too high. The problem with pricing a home too high is the following. If a house is sitting on the market for an extended period of time, what do you think that most people will start asking themselves when it comes to buyers and looking for a home? The obvious answer is, what's wrong with it? Why has this house been on the market for 40 days, 60 days, 80 days, and no one's touching it? It might be the perfect home for them. Might be absolutely nothing wrong with the house itself. However, the longer that a house is sitting, the longer that it will likely sit. Okay? That is number one. The second thing that really makes a difference is curb appeal. What does your house actually look like from a buyer's perspective when they're standing outside the home looking at it, but also when they step right inside the front entrance, okay? You have to accept the fact that your home is your home. You have sentimental attachment to it. You could probably explain every nook and cranny and scratch and dent and paint peel and weird noise and can explain it all. And in some cases, you probably like them because there's an attached story to it. Some emotional draw that you're pulling and saying, I remember when I came home one night after smashing 36 beer, tripped up over my feet. And that dent right there, that dent taught me not to drink as many beer. Love that dent, right? Cool. Guess what? Buyer doesn't like the dent. Buyer doesn't like the chip. Buyer doesn't like the paint peeling. Buyer doesn't like the grass not cut. Buyer doesn't like the crack in the window. All these things matter, okay? So the second thing is curb appeal. Does the home look like it's being prepared to sell? Would you go into a clothing store and buy a shirt that has a stain on it or that has threads peeling from it? No, you would not. Would you go into a store and buy shoes that have scuff marks or that are torn or that are ripped? No, they are not. You could go shop at Frenchie's and you're still going to eyeball the clothing, the book, the equipment that you buy for any dents, scratches, breaks, etc. How it is presented matters. The third thing is marketing. Okay? Is your real estate agent involved in networking groups? Are they rubbing shoulders with other people who have what you're looking for? In this case, buyers. Are they involved in masterminds? Do they have reach outside of just the community in which you live in and that they're trying to sell your home? Do they travel outside your province? Do they travel outside your country? Do they have networking events, connections internationally to make sure people are available and know that your house is for sale? And above all, are they willing to exchange their hard-earned bucks for paid advertisement? Guys, that's a really important thing. If your agent is not willing to spend in many cases, several $100s, making sure that your home is finding its way to people's inboxes, it's finding its way to people's social media feeds, etc. All that stuff really matters. Okay. And in some cases, agents, sometimes they don't know. Sometimes they don't have the flow. Sometimes they can't. But you are looking for an agent that can and realistically should. So the three most important things: what's it priced at? Curb appeal, and then is there, what's the advertisement like? What's the marketing like? So let's actually start recording this video here, where now you guys can see this screen here. Let me see. Let me go to my intranet. Where's it at? So I actually had the wrong. Let's go here. We're gonna drag you over. You should be cool, guys. Cool. 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 There we go. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so let's, what are we gonna do? We close this. So welcome to the behind the scenes of how a real estate agent in Nova Scotia can search up homes that are currently on the MLS. So let's just make sure this stuff makes sense. Let's clear it all. So first thing we're gonna do is let's pull up homes that, let's say, expired, okay? Which means that, no, do you wanna do the sale one first? Let's do sold. No, we're going to do expired. In the Halifax, Dartmouth region of Nova Scotia, I want to make sure it's a single family home. And for the sake of filters and getting fewer and fewer, let's go detached, which essentially means not like a semi or a side-by-side, but it is on its own single family detached home. Okay. As you can see, there are 23,500 properties that expired since this system has been doing its thing. So we're actually going to choose a date range that's very close instead of doing like how many. So 7 days back. If I go 30 days back, what's going on here? There's no way that there aren't any expired in the last 30 days. 60 days. Okay. So last 60 days, 10. Let's do this. So you guys should be seeing my screen right now. What are we gonna do? Let's pick some homes. What's this one here? Let's just click this. Okay, so this one is on Linwood Drive. They were asking for $1.3 million. Really quick, let's just look at the photos. Boom. Okay. So first off, professional photography. Obviously, there's drone shots, there's aerial shots. That's great. They're catching the waterfront as a view from there in that perspective. Cool photo. If I were being very picky, I would say the photos look a little dark. They could have been brightened up a little bit. And I only say that because not that the photographer should have done that, but I think the time of day that they were doing it, they were trying to capture that sunset probably. Because it probably looks way better in real life than it does on those photos. But anyway, let's go in. So awesome. Curb appeal's good. House looks good from the outside, the inside, professional. Dude, this is a beautiful looking home. Cool. Good job. Photos, check. Lovely. Most important thing we said was price. We'll come back to that. So 2,000 square feet. Interesting. 60-year-old, what is that, 65, 71 years of age. How many days was it on the market? So it was on the market for 55 days. Okay. Now, before we go down the rabbit hole too far, I want to make sure they didn't relist this. So if I go paste, okay, so it's not active again. It expired. Perfect. 1.3 million. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to take that address. I'm going to copy. I'm going to go to, you guys can use this as well, right? This is just viewpoint. If you're Nova Scotia in particular, if you're shopping in Nova Scotia, you have access to it. Was it Halifax or Dartmouth property? Halifax, Dartmouth, Fairmount, Clay Park, Rockingham. Okay, so that would be Halifax. Is that the one? Yeah, expired. Okay, really quick. There you go. So I'm just going to literally go around this home where it was listed, and I'm just going to land on some of these closest that sold comparables. So there's one sold for $998,000. Okay. All right. Photos look decent. Yeah. Okay. Comparable. Yeah. Probably professional photography. And if it was the agent, they've got the tools and the equipment to make it work. I don't see any drone shots, but let's rip through. Okay. Nice one. Lovely. Does it tell me how many days on the market that was sitting for your young new build? Okay. So that's 1 million, right? And the one we had here was for 1.3, so at $300,000 more. Let's go to another. Like, I'm just hovering around all the homes. So this one sold for 500,000. Obviously, not the same product. This one sold for 480,000. Not the same product. This one they had listed for. Look, this one is very close to the Linwood one we were looking at, listed at 600,000. Now they received an offer. Pending means that it's not quite firm, but an offer has been accepted. They're under contract, and it was on the market for 20 days. So that makes sense to me. This house is half the price of the one a stone's throw away. They're going to get attention. Whereas the one we looked at that expired, let me just, I want to give benefit of the doubt. This one sold for 650. This one sold for 710. Again, not the same product, but my point is this one sold for 928. I'm reaching. This one sold for, I just clicked that one. 640. This one here probably sold for more. Let me see, because it goes right down to the lot. No, those are condos. Okay, so what you can see is I can't find anything that's sold in that area without trying, in the 60 seconds for more than $1 million. And I can only find one or two that sold at $1 million. Okay. So is it overpriced? You might think so. You might not think so. I might think so. I can tell you that the market suggested that it was. All right. Going back to it. Right. And I'm not picking on this home whatsoever. 1.3 million. Maybe they know they need that. It's in a good spot. Let me look again. I want to see what the property looks like. I just want to remind you guys to bring it back to what we were talking about. Price, curb appeal, marketing. Right. And the curb appeal in this spot looks good. Looks really nice. Cool outside, man. That backyard's actually dope. But the market suggested that they, in my opinion, suggest that they were asking for too much. Let's go find something that was criteria instead of expired, actually sold. Let's do that. Okay. Last 60 days. I mean, that's a lot. I'm actually going to go 30 days. Somebody's at 38. Okay, let's do that. If I go search, and then just look through here and see, what did sell. Average price for the ones that did sell in the last few days or third was 595,000. If I just scroll, I don't know, let's pick something, man. I don't know. Let's go. What's this one say? Okay, this one was listed for 675,000. It sold for 605,000. It was on the market for 3 days. That's a little dramatic. I didn't mean to pick an example so crazy. Let's have a look. Well, for starters, they accepted a lot less than what it was listed for. So that goes to price. They've got it listed at 675. They sold for 605 and got an offer within 3 days for it. So that's interesting. But if I look at the photos look pretty good, right? I'm questioning if it was, I'd say it's professional photography. Okay, fair enough. And again, if it was the agent, they have the equipment, right? Like, it's not cluttered, it's clean, it's decluttered. It's, from the outside looking in, looks good. Photography looks great. Aerial shots for sure. So curb appeal, photographs, check. And then marketing, again, I can't speak to what they did or didn't do, but I can say that they got an offer in 3 days. I can tell you that. And I can also tell you that in those 3 days, 79 agents saw it as well. So for me, it sold the price point. Let's just continue this game right to the end. Okay. If I take that and I go over here and I literally just punch that in and I click this, there, 605,000. What did this one next door to it sell for? 700,000. You even have to look much further. Their neighbor sold their house for $700,000. What do you guys think that it would be impossible for them to sell their house for $605,000? No. Obviously they did it, so it's not. But even if it was pending, I would jump to the conclusion that they're probably going to transact. This one here sold for $606,000. Ironic enough, only $1,000 difference. Now these ones look much smaller. So if I click on these, 500,000. This one's big. Let me see this. 500,000. Perfect example. So if this house that listed at 675, which again, the market actually suggested that might have been too much. If they listed at 7 or 8 or 9, do you think that they would have sold? The answer is no. It would have been priced too high. It was priced right. They had professional photography and curb appeal looks good. and the agent probably did their thing, and boom, it got sold. Guys, my intention with this video is to share with you what I believe, in my opinion, are the three most important pillars, if you will, to when it comes to properly selling your home. Listing your home is the easy part, fam. It's transacting, it's getting an offer. Number one is the price point. That is and will always be the most important thing. Number two is the curb appeal. What does the thing look like from a buyer's perspective? And the third thing is marketing. Is your agent connecting, rubbing elbows? And I said it. Are they forking over their own hard-earned cash and paying for advertisements for your listing? And those are the three that I would consider the most important. Thank you for this case study. Thank you for joining me. And you guys can see, hopefully, behind the scenes of the systems that we use and that we have at our fingertips are helpful for you. Disclaimer, I'm not trying to pick on any of the properties I looked at. They were genuinely randomly selected just by the filter, etc. So congrats to the people that sold, to the people that didn't. It is what it is, and life goes on. Okay, Peter Gronis signing off. One love. Thanks, man.